thought I had an idea there, and it just did not flourish at all. A long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, in a universe full of strange creatures, there is a dark force emerging. A force of loot boxes and terrible progression tied to it. Tired of amazing graphics and shitty art rooms? Well then, Jedi Academy may just be for you.
So don't rush it.
For so long I've been looking at these games and their amazing reviews and fan base, watching videos and following it on Steam. I finally decided to pick it up after a trip to Goodwill where I found its predecessor, Star Wars Dark Forces 2, along with Mysteries of the Force and a copy of Frogger that just sent me right back to my childhood. Along with a slew of other old-ass games, I found EverQuest, Warcraft 3, a good find, a seriously potential Goodwill, but not the point we're here to make. After trying to install Dark Forces, I ran into many problems, as my system was just one sick bitch, and it could not handle it. Rejecting my 64 whatnots and high-quality RGB lighting, after a long time of burning disk images and adding patches and so on and so forth, nothing happened. And so came the Star Wars sale of May the 4th, where I blindly went into Academy not knowing if I'd even be able to play the damn game. And when I was able to, goddamn.
This isn't good.
The combat in this game feels so awesome as you run and jump 30 feet in the air, cutting stormtroopers down and sending new Sith cult members through the air like a screaming ragdoll, banished to the sky realms. Throughout Academy, you'll come to learn of the cult of Ragnos.
Kyle, I did some research on that strange mark from the clothing we found at the temple. It is the symbol of Marka Ragnos, a Sith Lord that died almost 5,000 years ago.
5,000 years? Are you serious?
The cult is slowly but surely draining the Force from old Jedi and Sith temples alike, in an attempt to awaken the first great Sith Lord, Lord Ragnos, who is actually a pretty amazing story if you're willing to search it. I left a link in the description for you. You should definitely go check that out. It may even make your playthrough a little better. Who the hell makes all the lore for these things, though? Holy shit, there's like just generals upon generals, and there's like a whole just ancient Egypt looking thing about the Sith. This shit is crazy. But to sum most of it up, Ragnos was one of the first true Sith Lords and was never defeated and never really confronted during his reign in the ancient times, and ended up just dying of old age. He'll mostly stick to slaying the Dark Forces, constantly invading peaceful planets and spaceships. Each level started off with a nice little cutscene to introduce you to some of the characters, and your objective most of all. But you pretty much meet almost all the key characters that are still alive or actually around during the era that this game's in.
Oh, did I miss something?
Some highly sensitive data about places where I felt a strong connection to the Force.
And also meeting the key characters of the game, which is Jedi Master Kyle and Luke Skywalker himself. Luke Skywalker seems a little weird as he's always coming in the room with his hands like tucked behind his back. And I don't know, for some reason he just kind of like, he reminds me of a nanny for some reason the way he walks around. I don't remember him ever like talking the way he does in the video games. He just seems way too noble, but that's just my opinion. You yourself play as Jaden, a young Jedi still honing his skills. You are sent to the Jedi Academy to study under Master Kyle.
First off, just call me Kyle. Titles make my skin crawl. Secondly, you're not serving under me. I'm gonna teach you, and you're gonna learn. That's it.
Which, what I thought myself was he just seemed like a little more cockier version of Obi-Wan Kenobi, in my own opinion, as well.
And Jan punches the weak way right in the...
But nonetheless, a decent person, an awesome Jedi to be reckoned with. I really like this character. You'll be doing a bunch of missions trying to best your best friend Rosh as you both train in the Academy, going from planet to planet to help people solve the mystery of the cult.
Did you recover Skywalker's records? Yes. With all the Jedi in the jungle, it was almost too easy. Excellent.
Between each mission, you get to pick your weapons and gear, as well as level up any various skills given to you. I love that I could choose between light and the dark forces. I pretty much just mained the lightsaber and lightning the entire time. Everybody kept warning me of going to the dark side. But the force lightning, honestly, was pretty OP, as once you level it up enough, you can just go into any room, and as long as they're just a normal enemy, you can pretty much just shock everybody to death, and it just makes things easy, because it just flails them out in outer space. But with the actual guns, I was super impressed in this game because you can seamlessly go to badass third-person hack and slash, awkwardly flailing your lightsaber at everything. yet still being super satisfying, watching the lightsaber drag across faces in slow motion. You'll also come across just like Sith Lords that'll just straight up do a backflip off the back of a cavern or something, and it comes in handy when you can't kill them because they just kill themselves. I don't think morale for the Empire has ever been this low. But then you can just seamlessly switch to the guns, where you're just playing an FPS and everything's okay and you're just shooting people, but it was really just kind of impressive. But when using the guns, I mostly kind of just stuck to the Wookiee crossbow and rocket energy launchers, as the smaller weapons just really didn't seem to do too much for me or just took too long, so I went for the big boys and I just killed everything one shot. Some of the missions in this game were just awesome to see in a Star Wars universe. Cheesy or not, it was a decent plot, finding different iconic locations along with new ones, such as Darth Vader's planet, a giant red rock that just looked awesome, reminding me of a PS1 game once again for some reason. Going to Hoth after Luke has a vision of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which kind of confused me, because yet again I have no idea what the timeline is here.
Jaden, I'm sending you to Hoth, where I had a vision of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I imagine there was a pretty strong aura there.
But Luke sees Obi-Wan in the wastelands of the planet. Here you'll get to ride a Tauntaun through a desolate snowstorm, getting to chop down enemies atop your said Tauntaun. Feels quite majestic and noble to the cause of the Force.
Hold it there.
You also get your chance at the iconic Wampa from Star Wars Episode 5, which yes, I had to Google that. This just really felt like a long-time vengeance kinda come to an end, as I watched Luke almost get eaten when I was a child, as many of us did. Later on, you'll get to the illegal war factories and an awesome-looking city of Coruscant, covered in skyscrapers and other buildings looking like a scene from Episode 2.
Now, let's talk about these assassin droids.
Okay.
Where is your factory?
Hidden on Nar Shaddaa. If you don't hurt me, I'll tell you where it is.
To the planet Dosen, where Jaden Core tries to report on the cult of Ragnos activity until he is caught by yet another Sith member called Rax.
Drop your laser sword, Jedi, and maybe we'll spare your life. Or perhaps you'd like to take your chances.
Leading you to a couple missions where you're forced to escape the facility until you bust out of his cell and begin your hunt for this big lug. With all these missions, I really just enjoyed the gameplay, fighting through waves of Imperial scum and sub-Sith cult members. The powers and the movement of the lightsabers to the fast FPS gameplay felt great coming from such an old title. I didn't really think it felt dated if you can still enjoy platformers and simple puzzles and just good old school shooting. And along with a kick-ass Star Wars story, kinda. All the Force powers seem pretty useful, but honestly I just stuck to the Sith powers more than the Jedi ones, as most of them were just for defense, and I didn't really think that was much of a must until I got to the planet Katarn, where you'll fight your way through this acid rain and with Master Kyle, and I didn't have Force protection, so I had to sit and listen to Jaden yell like an idiot for about 30 minutes or so. You and Rosh will just continue to succeed in the academy as you'll slowly watch Roth bitch his way to the dark side.
Do you realize how much power there is in the dark side? Kyle was holding us back, Jaden. You should feel the power. It's beyond anything you've ever imagined.
Soon you'll just find him at Darth Vader's palace, where you'll fight him and awkwardly jumping around each other, just wondering if you're actually fucking hitting each other at all. This is a problem in a lot of the games. Yet still being satisfying though. From here you're promoted to Jedi Knight and you make your way to one final time through the Academy missions and eventually to the end where you'll get to make final decisions between the Force and the dark side, each giving you a pretty great ending that I won't talk about so you can experience some of this game blindly, which I'm sorry if you watch these videos isn't going to happen for a lot of them because I don't know how to filter it all. With these last missions you'll rebuild your saber, picking out new styles and colors to deciding whether you want an awesome double-sided saber like Darth Maul or dual-wielding sabers like a Jedi speed freak. The game was just really impressive and managed to keep me entertained for about 8 to 10 hours, blasting, frying, cutting through the enemies while meeting familiar faces and some awesome new ones, giving you a pretty good amount of cutscenes and stories between each deathmatch, featured in different various arenas across the galaxy, from Jabba the Hutt's hideout to finding Boba Fett himself.
Boba Fett?
This doesn't concern you, Jedi. Just walk away.
No one stood a chance against my gold lightning. Like I said before though, I'm not exactly sure where this game fits in with the Star Wars universe, because there's just so many characters around, from meeting Chewie to Boba, then hearing about Obi-Wan supposedly stuck on planet Hoth, but all these scenes and missions felt like an awesome side story to the series that I can definitely recommend. Old yet new to me, I really enjoyed it. Not that there isn't anything wrong with it, it is pretty repetitive if I'm being honest, and spoiler alert, if it even matters anymore. Lord Ragnos was super disappointing when you meet him. He just kind of spawns as one of the people that you already fought her, and then she comes back as Lord Ragnos. Apparently she's got like purple aura or something going on, and I don't know, it just wasn't that great. Maybe an old game, but come on, he could have been so much cooler looking. At least let me just fight the actual Lord Ragnos. I mean, if I can defeat his ghost, I feel like maybe they could have just had him be resurrected. I don't know, maybe then he would have just had too much power and would have turned me to the dark side. But overall, I just thought it was a great game, and I really hope I persuaded you guys to play yet another installment of Back of the Box. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what I could be doing better. Please know what I could do at all. Let me know which games you want me to play, and we'll just take it from there, buddy. Alright? Have yourself a fantastic day.